If you've ever used the term naked to describe your living room, then you'll be so glad you stick around for more Explore Tulsa.
Oh, that sounds a little exaggerated.
What if I was cold and exposed hardwood floor laying there naked? I'd want someone to cover me up with a nice area rug.
Oh, believe me, that is all something we would want to make sure was covered up. However, in the real world, folks shop at the rug fashion store for beautiful styles that are also affordable.
Well, I have a background in interior design and have always been interested in rugs because I believe that they can really make your room more welcoming, more exciting, more inviting. And today, particularly with all of the hard surface flooring that is going in, both stained concrete and wood floors and tile, you need that extra impact that an area rug can add. There wasn't a store in Tulsa where you could go and find lots of affordable rugs to look at. And so that's what we have here. We have basically 5x8s all throughout the store. However, we have the capability of ordering both larger and smaller sizes. But you can come in here and you can see them and touch them and feel them and know actually what color they are rather than just looking at a picture in a catalog or on the internet. Tulsa has always been a very, very conservative, very traditional city, but we have experienced in the past few years going a little bit more what we call transitional. It's not really hardcore contemporary, but just a little bit more transitional and gearing away from the very traditional feel that we've had before. Sort of a minimalist look rather than all of the accessories and gewgaws and lots of pillows. We've steered away from that, and the rugs are showing that. They're less complicated. Probably the most predominant color that people ask for are creams and grays, simply because they can put all sorts of colors with that. They can put an orange or a mustard or a teal or a chartreuse, or my favorite color, red, with any of those, you know, with the cream and the gray, and really have a fantastic look without changing things that much. Sort of the same thing across the country. We're seeing much more of a transitional, even an eclectic feel where they pull in lots of different designs together to create their look. But the transitional, I think people are just, you know, we're seeing the really wide open floor plans, particularly out here in this part of the country, not necessarily just Tulsa. Sometimes the rug itself will define the space in a room because there aren't any walls. It used to be, whenever I was a child, I remember that almost the only kind of rugs we had were 100% wool rugs. We didn't have all the man-made fibers that we have today. And people had hard floors. Either they were hardwood floors. And then, particularly in this part of the country, they started building houses with slab concrete foundations. And all of a sudden, you know, all these man-made fibers came along, and so that wall-to-wall carpeting became much less expensive. Wool still is sort of king whenever we get down to fibers, because it is so resilient and it's mostly stain resistant and accepts dyes so beautifully. So wool hasn't been replaced exactly, but it's certainly offered. We certainly have other options now with all of the man-made fibers. Well, it's been very exciting for me, particularly because I have lived in Tulsa most of my life, and I've seen how Tulsa has grown, and so to me it's very exciting to be a part of continued growth and have this store right here in this area at 61st and Yale, where we can serve Midtown as well as the suburban areas that have grown so much with Tulsa.